and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we have the third episode of Book Buying Bingo. Now, this is coming out in December, but I am filming it a few days before the end of November, so a handful of books, probably 2 or 3 books have not come yet because I haven't gotten my Illumicrate and Fairy Loot boxes, but be that as it may, I have vacation because of American Thanksgiving and I'm pre-filming some videos. So that also means that I will be carrying over every book from the 25th of November, which is today, until the end of November into my December edition of Book Buying Bingo because, you know, haven't finished it. I'm literally 20 minutes away from finishing another one on audiobook, but that one's not counting for this month. So to start off, I am going to go over the ones that I have already earned before bingos, and those are with books that I have read. So totaling all those up, including the 3 that were above 5 books, the first time that I did this, I have earned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've been reading a lot of books in November, so that's going to be a total of 30 books, 27 that I've read thus far, and 3 carried over. So there we go, there are 6 tokens for that. Now, these tokens that I have earned, I've earned for a variety of things. These are my incentive to-do list type tokens, and that includes catching up on the amount of time that I want to spend cross-stitching and the amount of time that I want to spend writing, and I've been focusing on those a lot because not only do I have a large stack of books right here that I'm hauling and I need tokens for all of those, but also I'm trying to build up a stash of tokens for my hopefully to come book haul from New York, from the Strand. So I will not go through what each of these is earned for. So all told, okay, I'm going to count these real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So all told, I have earned 14 of those to-do list incentive tickets. It's been really helpful, I will say that. So far, that's 20 tickets. I'm looking at my stacks. I still need more. So now we have the actual bingo portion of the book buying bingo. And what I did this time, instead of putting stickers on all of it, I went ahead and I wrote the titles of the books that I'm using for each of these. And I'm going to go in order of each bingo that I've received. Now, there are 25 total slots on here, and with 27 books read so far in the month, I should have been able to get all of them. However, there were a handful of them that just didn't fit. Like there was a prompt for poetry, there was a prompt for banned books, and a prompt for written before 1985. And because I'm working on my Goodreads project, which are all recent books, and none of them that I could find have been banned, it didn't work for any of those. Also, I'm not reading the science fiction category, so I didn't have anything for that one. But otherwise, I was able to get just about every prompt on here. So we had big book, over 500 pages. I had lots to choose from for that one. For that one, I chose Fool's Quest. Next, we have author with E last initial. I fudged this one a little bit and used E as a first initial, and I had only one of those because it was supposed to be the same last initial as myself. And I chose the With or Without Me memoir. The author's first name is Esther. Then we have Water on the cover, and for that one I chose Momo Arashima, Steals the Sword of the Wind. Can't wait for that one to come out. That one doesn't come out until I believe March or April of next year. Then for memoir autobiography, I chose Solito, which actually is a Goodreads Choice nominee, but I'm not reading that category. Then we have Intimidating. I put Empire of Pain on there, not because it was difficult to read, but because it took a little bit for me to get over the hump and actually read it. So that was intimidating, but I got it read. So that's a bingo right there. Next bingo is this next row right here. Multiple authors. I chose The Dark Talent by Brandon Sanderson, and even though he wrote the text, I consider the illustrations a key part going along with this book, so I consider that multiple authors. And the illustrator is Haley Laszlo. Then we have white on the cover, and I chose Ace of Spades for this one. Then we have Own Voices, and for that one I chose Beasts of Prey by Ayanna Gray. Then for Starts with an S, I chose Small Town Pride. Then lowest rated on Goodreads, it's not actually low rated, I just found the lowest rated of all the books I read this month and put that on there, and that was A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. Then I have another bingo here. I obviously will not get a bingo on this row, but I'm gonna go over what I've gotten on this row. Then we have middle grade. I've read a lot of middle grade, but for this one I chose the second Tristan Strong book. Recent haul, Fool's Assassin. You will see that in a little bit. Then we have from the library. I have a lot of those, though. So for this, I chose The Marvelers. No bingos on this row. Then we come to the next row. Again, that's that pre-1985 release. Did not get that one. Released in 2018. This is a carryover from the last day of October, and that is Darius the Great Is Not Okay. Then we come to over 400 pages. Again, I have a lot to choose for this one, and for that one I chose Blood of Dragons. For award winning, I chose the book I read in Spanish, Antes de Ser Libre. It's a Latin book award, and I don't remember how it's pronounced. No bingos here. I don't have any more horizontal bingos, so I'll do this last row here. Adapted to TV movie. These are all new. I don't know of any adaptations, so unfortunately I don't get that one. Then shortest on the TBR. I chose this one even though by page number it wasn't the shortest, but because of the height, it's my short little edge dancer. So actual length, that's the shortest one there. Science fiction didn't have one for that. Longest on TBR, of course, I put Oathbringer here. How could I not? And then magic in the title, I chose A Magic Steeped in Poison. So I got the bingos here that I talked about. I also got a bingo here, 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 and here. I came close in several other ways, but that is 4 bingos. Which brings me to a total of 6. So we had the 2 across, 3 down, and 1 diagonal. So I have 6 bingo tokens, which brings me to a total of 26. So now we are going to go through the books that I'm going to redeem with these tokens. I just did a quick count, and it does look like I will have some more to carry over, but I believe that some of the ones that I'm using for this month were supposed to be carried over from last month. So hopefully I'll earn a lot coming up, because I still want to purchase a lot of books at the Strand when I'm in New York. So we shall see. All right, I'm going to start with the smaller of these 2 stacks, which are books that I have purchased for myself. One of them is a pre-order. Another one of those is one that I'm really interested in, and then the others are getting physical copies of the rest of the Realm of the Elderlings. So we will start with those 2, what I'll call odd men out, and I will pull up a token, redeem it, and then move on to the next one. So the first of those is A Man Called Ove. I have wanted to read this one for a while, and there's an adaptation coming out with Tom Hanks that looks amazing. Obviously, I'm going to read the book first. So I'm going to redeem a token. Next, we had a pre-order. This is The Island of Extraordinary Captives. I read this as an ARC back in the summer. And this book tells the story of an internment camp that was established by the British, which I had no idea existed. This is very well written, and I'm so glad that I actually have a copy of this now. So I'm gonna redeem another ticket. Now we have my Realm of the Elderlings books. There's a total of 5. Before I get into that, I'm a little frustrated with Waterstones because they still haven't sent me the first in the Rainwald's Chronicles. So I am short 1 Realm of the Elderlings book. Who knows if I will actually get it. So there are 5 books here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull up the 5 tokens. We have 5 tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go ahead and redeem them and then just talk briefly. So I have already hauled the first 2 in the Rainwild Chronicles series. So what we have here are City of Dragons and Blood of Dragons. So the Rainwild Chronicles is not my favorite series. It's probably my least favorite series, but it does so much in terms of world building. You absolutely have to read these. Now, I'm actually a little bit ahead because I have one book left in the Realm of the Elderlings yet to read. So the two that I have read are Fool's Assassin and Fool's Quest. It's setting up for what I know will be a very emotional, gut-wrenching read with all of the stuff that Robin Hobb puts into her character work, and that is Assassin's Fate. This is the one that I haven't read yet. The cover design on these is so amazing. So glad to have them. Now we get into my BookBox books, and the first two of these are actually, they are Fairy Loot books that came after my last book buying bingo. And in that box, there were two books, one paperback and one hardback. I have heard good things about both of these, so I'm really excited about those. We have Princess of Souls and One Dark Window. So I'm going to redeem 2 tokens for those. Next, we have an Illumicrate book for, I believe this month, maybe it's the last month. It's probably the last month. And one thing that I didn't realize at first with this was the Def Rep in it, and now I'm really excited to read it, and that is The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrews. I'm actually really excited to read this. So pull up another token, redeem that. Next we have my Goldsboro order that was long delayed, and one of these books I have to put back up on the shelf for the Goodreads Choice Award, and that is the pre-order that let me know that they weren't coming, and that is The Ballad of Never After. Hopefully I will be reading this very soon. Gonna redeem a token for that. Next we have 3 months worth of the Goldsboro SFF subscription. I got all the initials right that time. And so I'm going to do all 3 of these together, even though 2 of them came in that one package and then 1 of them came later. I'm going to pull up 3 tokens here. 1, 2, and 3. Redeem those. And those books, we have Silver Under Nightfall. Oh, I just realized I need a vampire book for Pokeathon to finish that out for this year. And I just realized that this is a vampire book. So I think this is the only vampire book that I have on my physical TBR. I might be reading this one next month. Then we have Mindwalker, which is, I think, a YA sci-fi. It's a lot smaller and a lot less intimidating. And then we have another sci-fi. So if I want to cross off that sci-fi slot on my bingo, maybe I'll go for one of these. Maybe that one, because this one is a lot thicker, and that is The Immortality Thief. The thing that gets me about this one is it brings in the idea of linguistics, and I am a sucker for anything language related. The next subscription we have is my comic subscription, and on this one, again, I did switch it out like the month before, and I got the children's version of the subscription, and this looks absolutely adorable, so I'm excited about that. I got a token to redeem for that one. And then we have Alcatoe and the Turnip Child. I just think this is going to be adorable. Next subscription book box that we have are my Book of the Month books, and because I can now get the add-ons at the much cheaper price, I got 3 books this month, so I'm going to take 3 tokens, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to redeem those. So we have what is actually was my November pick, and that is Someday Maybe. This looks like it's going to be very hard-hitting contemporary. Then we have what is likely to win the general fiction category on the Goodreads Choice Award, and that is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, because it already is Book of the Year's, Book of the Month's Book of the Year, I should say. I am setting this aside with a couple other of my Book of the Month books, which are in other categories in the Goodreads Choice Award that I haven't read, so I might be getting to this year. And then the third of those is also a Goodreads Choice Award book, and that is in the historical fiction section. It's not going to win. That's going to be Taylor Jenkins Reid with Carrie Soto Is Back. But this is Hester. This was another one that I was really intrigued with on a previous month. Next, we have a book that is one of 2 books that I got in my Coffee and Book Club subscription, but I have already unhauled one of them because I have no interest in that. That was a book written by the author of the Suki Sackhouse series, and that's just not something that I'm interested in. I don't know necessarily that I'm all that interested in this one, but I'm going to give it a try, so I'm going to redeem a token for it. Might regret it, who knows. And that is Ghost Rider in the Sky by Piers Anthony. And then lastly, I saw a bunch of things in Owlcrate that I really wanted, and so I decided to go ahead and get a one-off box. I'm really tempted to resubscribe because the items in the other box have been really interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna bite the bullet again, but who knows? So one last token to redeem, and that book is The Luminaries by Susan Dennard. Those are all the books that I've hauled. Now, all I have left are my bingo tokens, and those are 6. So I have 6 going into next month. I got a lot of books this past month, so I need to read even more in November and December, and hope that the prompts that I'll get in the next segment of this video will be a little bit easier to fulfill. We have, see, 25, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I need to pick out 20 more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 20 from this stack. I won't film it because that would just be boring, but after I pick out those 20, I will hold them up and talk briefly about them. Then I will assemble them on the sheet. I may need to print out a new bingo sheet because as I take it off, the tape rips away parts of the paper. Actually, I think what I'll do, because they are sufficiently mixed up and I have no idea what prompt is what right now. So I'm just going to pick the top 20 off of the list, and then I will go through what those prompts are. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, now let's reveal the prompts. Looks like I'm gonna have to print some more prompts as well. And that might end up recycling some prompts because I go through a lot each month. All right, first off we have, well, that's really fitting because this one is Goodreads Tourist Award. Next we have novella. I have some ideas for that. Next we have Asian author. Fourth we have includes illustrations. Fifth we have secondhand. So any of the books that I have from my really big, really cheap book sale, or even A Man Called Ove, because I got that off Thrift Books, would count for that. Sixth, we have nature on the cover. Next, we have on the TBR the longest. I don't know if I'll be able to cross that one off next month. Next, we have anthology. I haven't done a lot of those, so I'm not sure. Next, we have one word title, which is a possibility. Person on the cover, based on a true story. Beautiful cover. That's easier to do than those ones with the ugly cover prompt. Published more than 10 years ago. Released in 2019. Fantasy. That's a gimme prompt, basically. LGBTQ plus representation. More than 5 words in the title. I wonder if that also includes, I'm gonna change that to more than or equal to 5 words in the cover and can include subtitles. Hand on the cover. Bought brand new. Also kind of a gimme prompt. And then lastly we have graphic novel or manga. All right, I think I can handle all of these prompts. So I am going to go take off all of the old prompts and put the new ones on and then show you the new board. Okay, I thought I would just pop in to show you the state of the board after I take all of them off. You can tell I'm pulling away a lot of the paper. It's not see-through yet, but maybe I'll make my December goal to clear the board and I'll just get a new board. I have placed everything on the board and realized that when counting up how many prompts I needed, I forgot to include the free space. So I have one extra prompt, which I am putting back, and that is the published more than 10 years ago prompt. I'm going to slide it back into the stack, and here is a look at the new board. I won't bother going over all of the prompts. I'm gonna pull it back a little bit so that it doesn't cast a shadow on my face, but here we go. Here is the next board for December and a little bit of November. We shall see how many of these I'm able to tick off and if I'm able to get myself any tokens for my trip to the Strand in just a few weeks. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.